Welcome to KKonnections On Air, a dynamic podcast hosted by Kearn Cherry, designed to empower listeners with actionable insights and wisdom from leaders, innovators, and changemakers across the globe. Each episode features a unique blend of interviews and speaker takeover segments, providing in-depth expertise on topics such as business, networking, branding, faith, empowerment, and personal growth, just to name a few. With over 200 plus speakers featured from Kearn's events, KKonnections On Air brings you powerful voices and thought-provoking discussions that inspire personal and professional transformation. Whether you're looking to elevate your career, build your brand, or deepen your faith, this podcast delivers valuable takeaways to help you unlock new opportunities and build a lasting legacy. Welcome back to KKonnections On Air. Tonight, we're in for a treat as we introduce an amazing guest who has made a global impact through her work and her faith, Dr. Stacie NC Grant. Dr. Grant is an award-winning international speaker, best-selling author, media personality, and a true leader. She's the 26th International President of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and the CEO of CNG Enterprises Unlimited, an MWBE firm dedicated to professional development and facilitation on a major scale. But that's not all. Dr. Grant is also the founder of Destiny Designers University, a one-of-a-kind platform for faithpreneurs to build businesses and legacies aligned with their faith. Her dedication to helping others embrace their purpose and push through challenges has transformed countless lives. Tonight, she's here to share insights on action despite the distraction, a powerful message on staying focused and moving forward, even in the face of life's challenges. Get ready to be inspired, and as always, take notes.
My name is Dr. Stacie NC Grant. I am the Chief Faithpreneur and founder of Destiny Designers University. It is the only training and development platform for faithpreneurs, faith-based entrepreneurs, and faith-based professionals looking to add another stream of income to their personal economy, understanding retirement might need a little buffering. So what we do is leverage our relationships, our resources, and our revenue to create a sustainable and profitable legacy by being cash flow positive. So we get to do this exciting work of discovering all the plans that God has for you. He didn't just come up with the plan like yesterday. He knew the plan before you were born. And as we grow through this thing called life, we get an opportunity to understand what that plan is, to lean in and really be able to assemble all those witty ideas and divine downloads and how we translate that in the marketplace. So on this journey called life, my signature platform started with this book, Action, Despite the Distraction, 7 life lessons on how to thrive and live your destiny now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now, that there is an urgency in what you need to do to power up. So who is this presentation for? It's for the person who is saying, wow, post-COVID-19, I'm really not sure what's next, how to do it, how to level up where I am, how to celebrate what I've learned, and also how to be in a position where I can get the most from what life is presenting to me. And you might also be that person that's saying 2020 was a hot mess, but the good news is that you are still here. You might be the person that's saying, oh, I have so many dreams I want to manifest. There's so many things I want to do. I'm watching all of these incredible speakers. I'm watching all these individuals doing amazing things. And I really want to manifest my dreams, but I keep getting stuck. And you're like, oh, if I could just break free, if I could just get past this particular point where I am so that I can get to the next. This presentation is definitely for you. This is also for the person who's been facing some challenges and obstacles outside of the global pandemic, outside of racial unrest, outside of financial insecurity, outside of food insecurity, outside of seeing loved ones transition at record numbers like we've never seen in our lived lifetime. There's some other real tangible challenges that keep presenting themselves. What looks like obstacles to be successful. And this is for you if that's the space that you find yourself in. And how can you look at those obstacles as opportunities? Then you might be the person that's just lack of resources. Like if you had a little bit more money, you could do a little bit more. If you had more meaningful relationships, you could maybe scale and grow. And that's the space that you occupy right now. Or you could be, suffering from something that I suffered from, outside of something that was going in my eye while I'm talking to you, the nerve. But achievemophobia, do you know what that is? Yeah, fact check me. Achievemophobia is the fear of, guess what, everyone? Success, not failure. Most of you know you pretty much have learned a few things, you know a few things. You're not really afraid of failing. You've heard the terms feel the fear and do it anyway, and you keep putting one foot in front of the other. But what you're really afraid of, what if this works? What if I go out and launch this business? What if I set out to become a speaker? What if I want to go and purchase real estate? What if I want to start this nonprofit? What's going to happen? Are people going to judge me? Can I really sustain this? Will they look at me and say that I don't deserve to be here? You start running all these narratives through your head. And if that's you, then yeah, you're suffering from achievemophobia. So we're going to talk about that and getting past that so you can keep taking what? Action. It's now or never. Your dreams can't wait. We've seen that tomorrow is not promised. We've seen what has happened. And what I kept just sharing over and over again, especially to my faithpreneurs, acknowledge what you see, but trust what you know. Acknowledge that the last 16 months, 15 months, it's been unusually challenging. Acknowledge that we've never seen the level of financial insecurity mixed with racial unrest mixed with food insecurities all happening at the same time, like at a fever pitch, like a powder keg of situations going on. Acknowledge what you see, but trust what you know. What you know, trouble don't last always. What you know, you can do hard. What you know, especially if you're a faithpreneur, if God brought you to it, he'll take you through it. That there's something that you're learning, growing, refining, and developing along the way. So it's now or never. Your dreams can't wait. So I want to give you a free gift as we move through this conversation, right? I want you to just have something from me to you, that this is a little go-to on those days when you're acknowledging what you see and you might be a little shaky on what you know. Go ahead and download the first chapter to my signature book, Action, Action, Despite the Distraction. The first chapter is about faith as an action word. How do you actually get past the challenges in your life so you can get to the results, that next best version of who you are? That's what we want to talk about. So who am I? Who is this lady that is talking to you today, Dr. Stacie NC Grant? Well, I'm Pearl's grandbaby. That's my grandmother. She left this planet December 15, 2015, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss my grandmother. She was 98 years young when she left this planet. It's the first product I produced, which is a tribute to her, and later I protected it as my intellectual property, the 4 leaves of Lux Clover. See, it was something that she shared with our family for years. And, I said it to some of my aunts and cousins, like, oh, yeah, grandma shared that with me. But I didn't know the power in the words, because when she shared it, I just wanted to be in something in school. It was like I just talked about flippantly not being lucky. And we're from Jamaica, West Indies. She put her hands on her hips and she was like, luck now have nothing to do with it. Courage and will, perseverance and skill. These are the 4 leaves of Lux Clover. Now, at that time of my life, I didn't even know what a clover was. I'm like, what is this Jamaican woman talking about? Everything has a saying, but the power in understanding what those 4 leaves really represent, the courage to step out and do what you've been put on this planet to do, the will and the desire not to take the average, not to be okay with the mediocre, but to move past to the excellent, right? The perseverance that it doesn't happen overnight. I'm not out here selling any get rich quick schemes. It's a journey and a process. But if you persevere and then you use the skill of developing the best portions of yourself, you get the results. So my whole platform is a tribute to this beautiful woman. And I get to be a wife and a mother, the 3 of the most incredible individuals on the planet. I just celebrated my silver wedding anniversary to this wonderful man, and I gave birth to 2 of the most amazing children on the planet. Yes, I'm biased. They're mine, but they're the best thing that I've ever done. My 2 sons, and I get to run around productively, because you can be busy and not productive, and build this enterprise as an international speaker, as an author, owning a small business where I am the MWBE firm for a $13 billion redevelopment for the International John F. Kennedy Airport in Queens, New York, being honored by President Obama, being able to be recognized for VIP Global. It's just so much. But I'm only sharing this with you, not to impress you, to let you know this was a journey. This didn't happen overnight. I had to keep taking action, the same thing that I'm talking to you about. See, one of my mentors, Les Brown, said, wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will invariably come your way. We're not saying in this whole summit that trials won't come, challenges won't happen. But what are you willing to do? Where's your resolve in continuing to move forward? Why is there a need to fulfill your destiny? Why? Why bother? Why tune in today? Why be a part of this? Because you know there's a need. I would love for you to just share what your need is. Sometimes when we chat and we interact online, we can inspire somebody else to get out of the rut where they are so they can move to the mountaintop of where we know they can be. So, what's the need for you to fulfill your destiny? I challenge you to do like my dear buddy, my good girlfriend, my bestie in my head, Oprah. Do the one thing you think you can do, fail at it, try again, do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment. Own it. You know how many things I didn't do right? You know how many times failure was just a convenient opportunity for me to learn what not to do the next time. Don't be afraid of it. You hear people say fail fast and forward. There's a reason, because the more you trip up a little bit, the more you skip over a couple of bumps in the road, is the smoother the path ahead becomes, because you know the steps you need to take. So that is critically important as you move on and understand your big why. See, my big why is to lead, teach, and inspire. I'm very clear about that. Everything that you saw about my portfolio of work, about the companies that I own, about the productions that I do, everything ties back to leading, teaching, and inspiring. That's my why. That's what gets me excited, even when I'm having a rough day, even when challenges come my way, knowing that I can pour into somebody else, that I can leave a space better than I found it through my words, through my actions, through my deeds, through my company. That's a blessing. I get my big why. What's your big why? Why do you show up again and again at conference after conference, buying book after book, getting resource and information? Why? Because there's something that you are graduating towards. There's something that you are working towards doing. So I just want to share with you two of my life lessons to power up now. Stop waiting. Don't procrastinate. You know, who told you that you were going to have the opportunity to do tomorrow what you can do today? Right? So let's not get too big for our own selves that we don't look at the gift that is in the present. And as we unwrap it, it starts to create the opportunities for the future. So the two lessons to power up now are, drum roll, please. But before we get there, let me just talk about the distractions, okay? Because the book is filled with distractions that I want you to be aware of, 7 of them to be particular. But we're only going to talk about 2 today. Lack of belief. See, this distraction keeps us from moving forward. It keeps us from taking that next step because, I don't know, we just really don't believe that we have the capacity to do it. We get stuck in a space of not the right time, don't know the right people, need to for the kids to go off to college, need to find the right relationship. We come with all these excuses. But faith is an action word. So if you believe, and I make the incredible assumption for my faithpreneurs that you believe that there's a God, you believe that his word will never return unto him void, you believe that there's nothing impossible with him. And if you believe that, then you don't let lack of belief become a distraction, because belief shows up in your behavior. Faith is an action word. It requires you to take actions. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So you're not going to necessarily know where it's all going to land, but you take action with anticipation that it is going to work. But if you don't take the action, you'll never get to the other side, right? So that belief in yourself becomes critical on your journey, and belief shows up in your behavior. Write that down. So if you really believe that you're a speaker, you have a story to tell, there's work that you need to do, you start speaking. You start using some of the free modalities that we have, from a Instagram Live to a Facebook to a Clubhouse to a green room. There's trillions of them. You might not have an audience of 1,000 the first time you open up your mic, but the more that you do speak, the better you become. Then you start to invest in programs and resources that will help you refine your skill. If you have a product and that product needs to launch, you need to share that with the world. The first iteration of your product might not be the best, but the more that you refine it, get feedback from clients and customers, guess what? Your belief rises in your ability to do what you were put here to do. But if you're not taking action, how can you build that traction? So I want you to write down a formula as I talk about this second distraction. And that formula is consistent action plus extended period of time equals maximum results. That's my secret formula for our Destiny Designers University family. Consistent action plus extended period of time equals maximum results. And what does that do? It destroys the second distraction I'm going to talk about today, procrastination, because you're not sitting around waiting for the perfect time. You're taking consistent action over an extended period of time and you get your maximum results. That's how it works. And then you're able to implement my second life lesson. You really want to write this one down and keep it close to you. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting started so you have something to perfect. So many times we're waiting for all these things to line up just right. You'll be waiting forever. There's a difference between operating in excellence and being paralyzed by this idea of perfection. If you don't start, how can you perfect it? If you don't start moving, how can you know what to do better? A lot of us use a device named after a fruit that has updates and new products coming out on a consistent basis, and guaranteed it's not perfect. There are fixes, there are bugs, there are updates. So if a multi-million dollar brand can launch and know that there's imperfection, what are you waiting on? So continue to take that consistent action. Continue to put that formula into practice. Consistent action plus extended period of time equals maximum results. And then you get to the other side of completion. Now, is it easy to do it by yourself? Not really. Can you do it by yourself? Maybe. But when you do it together, when you do it in community, when you know that you have the right people rooting for you, cheering you on, stretching you, challenging you, it makes your accountability path a lot more productive. And then you are able to walk out your destiny. You're able to live the thing that you've been put here to do. You are powered up, fired up, and ready to go because we are in this together. So what are the next steps after you get all this information, after you go ahead and write down a trillion notes? There's a hard way, and then there's an easy way. You can revert to trying to do it yourself, to go back to your old practices, or you can stretch past the comfort zone. You can go to where you never really put in the extra elbow grease and work. And when you do, you yield the fruits of your labor. See, I'm going to give you a real life example. For Destiny Designers community, we launched this Faithpreneur 3-day weekend experience back in 2018. It was a vision of how we take our live and self-directed classes and bring together an annual event where we can drill down into the importance of legacy, where we can talk about the faith in action by leveraging our relationships, our resources, and our revenue to create a sustainable and profitable legacy by being cash flow positive, where we can get into celebrating how God molds us, how He's waiting for our alignment with our divine assignment, so that as He has deposited our gifts, our skills, and our talents, we can start to really realize and see how the plans He has for us all line up. And if I was waiting for the perfect time, if I was waiting for all the resources, if I was waiting for everything to be lined up, I would have never launched in 2018. It was beautiful. It was incredible. It stretched me beyond anything that I could imagine. But the foundational scripture of, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So it's been a journey. And once I started, then we went to 2K19, had an incredible event at another landmark facility. And then COVID came and I had a choice. Do I stop? Do I throw my hands up in the air and wave them like I just don't care? Or do I continue? And we ended up having one of the most incredible 3-day virtual weekend experiences and got a chance to honor some more of my incredible friends and colleagues. Real life example. If I didn't start in 2018, if I didn't continue taking consistent action over an extended period of time, I would not continue to see the maximum results. So I invite you to be in that position where you are powering up to take massive action. We're going to repeat this together because you didn't come here to play. You came here to slay. You came to power up and do what you've been put here to do. I want you to holler out. I acknowledge I cannot do this thing called life alone. I will not suffer in silence, but ask for help. I will ask for help not because I'm weak, but because I want to remain strong. I'll face the things I need to fix. I will conquer achievemophobia. I will invest in myself. I will leave a legacy. This is my time to walk in my destiny with confidence and conviction. Action, action, despite the distraction. So when it gets a little challenging, when you feel a little weary, just holler. Action, action, despite the distraction. And you will get some inner strength. You're like, whoa, what's going on? And that is a power that God has placed inside of you to do the very thing that He called you to do. And I just stopped by today just to remind you of your greatness, to implore upon you the necessity for you to walk in your dreams, to continue taking action over a consistent period of time, and you will get your incredible results. Look forward to seeing you on the other side. This is Dr. Stacie NC Grant signing off. Have an amazing life and an even better legacy. Bye-bye.